Hi friends, I'm Amy from Amy Latta Creations. One of the best ways that we can grow as artists is to continually challenge ourselves to try new and different things. New techniques, new materials, new styles, and a great place to find inspiration for that is by looking to other artists that we admire. Checking out folks on Instagram, on Pinterest, and of course in person, and seeing what we like about their style is a great place to start. Of course, we're never going to copy someone's work exactly or pass their work off as our own, but what we should be doing is taking some of the best things that we love about their style and combining it with our own style, putting our spin on it, and incorporating it into our designs to see what happens. Today, we're going to be working through a quote, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing this in a little bit of the style of an artist that I admire. Her name is Raina, and her account on Instagram is Audacious Rain. She has a shop called Audacious Rain Designs, and I think you're going to love her as much as I do. Take a look. Raina is a talented hand lettering artist who letters inspirational, motivational, and uplifting quotes. One of my favorite things about her style is her use of color. Her Instagram feed is so colorful and fun, and I especially like it when she adds color behind important words in different shapes to make them stand out in the design. To do this, in our quote today, you'll need sketch paper, a pencil and eraser, a Tombow Fudenosuke, and Tombow dual brush pens in your choice of colors. We're going to be using the brush technique with the Fudenosuke pen. If you're unfamiliar with this is what gives us the contrast between thick and thin lines inside of each of our letters. To create this, what we need to do is on every downstroke, which is every time that your pen is moving down on the paper toward you, you're going to apply pressure to make a thick line. In contrast, when your pen moves up away from you on the paper in an upstroke, you're going to release that pressure. This creates a much thinner line that contrasts with the thick downstrokes. Horizontal strokes should also be thin. You can practice this by going up then down, and alternating, applying and releasing pressure for practice. The first thing that we're going to do for our quote is pencil in the positions of our words. We can't go back and change the beginning, but we can start where we are and change the ending. Then, once we have our position sketched out, we're going to take the Tombow Fudenosuke pen and we're going to trace over our words using that brush technique. So we're pressing anytime we have a downstroke, and whenever we have an upstroke or a horizontal stroke, we're releasing the pressure, so we're getting that contrast between thick and thin lines inside of each of our letters. One of the things about Raina's style that's a little bit different than my typical hand lettering style is that instead of connecting all of her letters together in a true script, she will often end a letter that has a downstroke like an H or an N, then pick up her pen and start the next letter separately. You can see that in the example here. I challenged myself to give this style a try because it isn't what I would normally do. I had a lot of fun, and I really like the way that it turned out, so I'd challenge you to give it a shot as well. Just end with those hard downstrokes, pick up your pen, and then start the next letter. So we're just tracing over the pencil letters that you created, and then once your quote is completely lettered, we're going to go back with the Tombow Mono Eraser, making sure that our ink is dry, of course, and then you're going to erase all of the pencil lines that you can still see. Then the next step is going to be to apply the color behind the words. Remember, this is one of my favorite things about Raina's style. It's a fun way to add pops of color and also emphasize words that are important. I used dual brush pens 620, 401, number 291 for my mint green, 873 for my orange, and for the pink, I chose to use 723. You absolutely can use any colors that you like. If you prefer bold, bright, vibrant rainbow colors, go for it. Now we're going to take one of those markers and choose our first important word. For me, that was the word back. We're talking about time here. We can't go back and change things, so I wanted to emphasize that. I basically lettered over top of my lettered word using the color. That gave me sort of an outline that's the shape of the word. For the word change, which is also important, I chose a different shape, sort of like a curving rectangle. Then I moved to the word beginning, and I created a wavy shape in the background. You can certainly make all of your shapes the same. You can do all rectangles or really anything you like. I thought it would be fun to change it up a little bit and try a bunch of different things. The word but is extremely important in this quote, so I did two things. One is that in the beginning, I underlined it with my fudenosuke. I also made it all caps and more of a print font to make it stand out from the rest of the words. Now, in this step, I circled it with orange. Another important word, of course, is start. So I went back over that with my blue Tombow dual brush pen. Then I wanted to emphasize change again. Since we've already seen this word, I decided to do the same thing that I did the first time for change, which was that curving purple rectangle. Then, of course, we need to emphasize the word ending. So I added color behind that in the form of a pink triangle. Again, you can use any colors and shapes that you like best to add these little pops of color. And there we have our hand-lettered quote. I think that the color behind the most important words adds so much to the experience. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have that visual cue for what's most important. And I think this quote is certainly an important one for all of us and all of the things that we're facing in today's world. We have lots of mistakes behind us and lots of things that we didn't choose, and we can't go back and change them, but we can start right here today and do better. We can change the ending and make the future a bright one. It's that simple, friends. I took some of the things that I love about Reina's bright and colorful style and incorporated it with my hand lettering to create something new, fun, and exciting. You can do the same thing using your favorite things about your favorite artists. Make sure that you check out Audacious Rain Designs, and of course, make sure you're following Tombow USA, checking out tombowusa.com, and staying tuned here on the Tombow YouTube channel for constant inspiration from all kinds of artists. Happy creating!